You ever meet someone and nothing is technically wrong, but something just feels off? Like they're smiling, they're talking, everything checks out, but your brain is like, yeah, I don't trust this. Yeah, that feeling. It's not random, and there are actually three types of people who trigger it. Let's break it down. First, we have the social shapeshifter. This person is perfect depending on who they're with. Around you, they love the same music. Around someone else, they suddenly hate it. New group, new personality. At first, it feels like they're just easy to get along with, but after a while, it starts to feel like, who are you actually talking to? Psychologically, this comes from high social adaptability. Their brain is constantly scanning what version of me will be accepted here. It's not manipulation, it's survival. But the side effect? You never feel like you've met the real them, and your brain picks up on that inconsistency. Now, the next type is way more subtle, the emotional mirror. This person doesn't just adapt to situations, they adapt to you. You're excited? They're excited. You're upset? They're suddenly deeply understanding. Sounds amazing, right? Until you realize they never start the emotion, they only reflect it. This comes from something called emotional mirroring, a trait linked to empathy, but also to people who struggle with their own emotional identity. Basically, they're so tuned in to others, they forget to generate their own feelings. And that creates this weird effect where you feel seen, but also slightly alone. Because deep down, you're like, wait, what do you actually feel? And then there's the final type, the one that messes with your head the most, the overperformer. This person is always on. Every reaction is just a little too perfect. Every laugh is slightly too timed. Every story feels rehearsed. It's like they're acting in a movie that no one else auditioned for. Now here's the twist. They're not fake. They're hyper-aware. Psychologically, this comes from high self-monitoring. Their brain is constantly watching themselves from the outside. How am I coming across? Was that funny enough? Did that sound normal? So instead of just being, they perform. And your brain notices the delay, that tiny gap between reaction and expression, and it reads it as unnatural. So here's the big question. Why does all of this feel so uncomfortable? It's because your brain is wired to look for consistency. When someone's behavior doesn't line up, even slightly, your subconscious goes, something's not adding up, even if you can't explain it. So, if you've ever felt like someone was fake, but couldn't prove why, it might not be them lying. It might just be their psychology leaking through. So now I'm curious, which one have you met? The social shapeshifter? The mirror? Or the overperformer? Or are you sitting there right now wondering if you might be one of them? Yeah, that's where it gets interesting. If this made you rethink someone you know, or yourself, hit subscribe, because the human mind, it's way weirder than we like to admit.